Hi everyone, I'm Mike Todd and welcome to Toddy Tackles. This week we're tackling nickel plating and I'll show you how we take rusty old bolts, nickel plate them to make them bright, shiny and resistant to rusting. I'm currently restoring this 1930s BSA B31. It's got lots of bright metal parts on it which are perfect for nickel plating. My setup is really simple. I bought an aquarium kit online which came with a tank and lid, a heater, a thermometer and an air line. This is my final setup. I'm using a benchtop power supply, but a 12-volt battery charger from a car would work just as well. I've got some copper pipe to hold the anodes into the electrolyte and another bit of copper pipe to suspend the component. You can buy a nickel plating kit online and the first job is to mix the chemicals up. These are a powder which you simply mix with distilled water and I store them in these food tubs. The reason I do this is because I also use the same tank to do copper and zinc plating. It's important when handling chemicals to wear safety glasses, rubber gloves and an apron. I then put the airline into the electrolyte to keep it circulating and I turn the heater on. The best temperature I've found is 45 degrees centigrade, which is 113 degrees Fahrenheit. Once the electrolyte's warmed up, we can add our anodes. This is my holder that I made up out of some copper pipe. It's height adjustable, so if the electrolyte evaporates slightly, I can raise the anodes up and down. You only want the nickel to go into the electrolyte, not the copper holder, so it's important to get the height right. I've used two anodes linked together by some wire, as you can see, one either side of the tank, and I've found that this gives good coverage. Here I'm connecting up the positive side of the power unit to the anode and the negative side to the cathode. That's the setup completed, ready to start nickel plating. Without doubt, the most important part of successful nickel plating is to make sure that the component is spotlessly clean. I found the best way to do this is with a standard engine degreaser and then a wire brush to remove any rust and stubborn dirt. Once the part is mechanically cleaned, you can then move on to the chemical cleaning. This is a two-part process which uses a GP1 alkaline cleaner and the dry acid salts. Again, all of these chemicals are available online as part of the nickel plating kit. They all come in powder form, so they're easy to mix up with distilled water. It's really important after the final rinse to submerge the part in the electrolyte as quick as possible, and this stops any further oxidation. Calculate the total surface area of the components that you're electroplating and set the power unit for 0.1 amp per square inch. As you can see, the process uses very low voltage. I'm using 6 volts and about 0.3 of an amp. After you've nickel plated a few components, if you take a look at the bubbles with a light behind the electrolyte, you want a steady stream of bubbles coming off the component. If they come off too vigorously, you'll find that you get pitting and burning into the component, If they come off too slowly, you won't get a proper coverage. I found about 5 minutes in the nickel plating tank gives a very good depth of coverage, and once it's completed, you turn the power off and give it a rinse. A quick buff up on the polishing wheel, and there we have a nice nickel plated component. If we compare the two, you can see that these old roof bolts, the one on the left was a bit grimy, but after 5 minutes in the nickel plating tank, we've got a nice bright shiny component that is resistant to rusting. I found once they've been plated, if they give them a polish with something like Auto Sol metal polish, it maintains the brightness a lot longer. I really hope you found this video useful. Please add any comments or subscribe below. Remember, always wear your safety glasses in the workshop and look out for future videos of Toddy Tackles.